Greetings, literature lovers. Today, the work which we are going to discuss is In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. Let's talk about his biography. In the background, one of America's most controversial and colorful authors combined literary genius with the world of high society, noted for his insight into the psychology of human desire. His flamboyant and well documented lifestyle has often overshadowed his gifts as a writer. Born in New Orleans, 1924, abandoned by his mother, and raised by his elderly aunts and cousins in Monroeville, Alabama. As a child, he lived a solitary and lonely existence, turning to writing for solace. In his mid teens, sent to New York to live with his mother and husband. Her new husband, obviously, his new father. Disoriented by life in the city, dropped out of school. At 17, got a job with the New Yorker magazine. By 20, was writing regularly for an assortment of publications. The Capote's first book, Other Voices, Other Rooms, was published in 1948. Instant notoriety for prose, frank discussion of homosexual themes, and for its erotically suggestive cover photograph of Capote himself. Now, the work which we are going to discuss is In Cold Blood. It was inspired by a 300-word article in the back of the New York Times. Unexplained Murder, Capote claimed to have invented a genre, the non-fiction novel. Later, Tom Wolfe and others were included in Cold Blood in their own movement known as New Journalism. Talking about the setting, Palamos, Spain, arrived on April 26, 1960, stayed the summers of 1960s, 61, 62. He brought 4,000 pages of notes, 25 suitcases, an old bulldog, a blind poodle, and a Siamese cat. Was accompanied by his painter, Jack Dunphy. The Palamos offered an escape from Capote's intense social life, wanted to withdraw from the New York parties he frequented in 1950s. Hotel trials were Capote's temporary residence. Palamos Capote frequently had fish tacos for lunch at Maria di Carrick restaurant. Favorite drink, dry martini. The Capote's novel In Cold Blood was written to uncover the details of the brutal murders of the Clutters, and explore the psyche of the townspeople in Holcomb, explore the psyche of the murderers. The Capote combined thousands of pages of notes with fictional elements to create a compiling story of tragedy for the victims, the townspeople, and the murderers. Interviews, character development, chronological order of events. Now, Capote weaves together journalistic details and fictional details to paint a picture of Herb Clutter. Known what they say about you, Herb say, since haircuts went to $50, Herb writes the barber a check. That's correct, replied Mr. Cuttle. Like royalty, he was famous for never carrying cash. That's the way I do business. When those Texas fellows come poking around cancelled checks are your best friend. The Capote weaves together journalistic details and fictional details to paint a picture of Mrs. Clutter. And here's the portion of the text. You can read it, quite taxing. While Perry waits for Dick to return from hanging paper, Capote exposes pain, apprehension, and fear in Perry. Another part of the text. You can read it. The novel is divided into 4 sections. The last to see them alive, persons unknown, answer the corner. Now, details gathered from 6 years of interaction with column residents and the killers. The primary appeal is pathos, shock, and fear in Holcomb's citizens, pity for the clutters, pity and empathy for Perry and Dick, logos and ethos, vast selection of details from various points of view, presented in logical accounts, poetic description from America's most famous author. Now, talking about the effectiveness of the novel, it is effective and because of the vivid selection of details and effective in manipulating the audience emotions, no doubt. See, somewhat it talks about the real events. So that's all for today. Thanks for listening.